Hello, hello, good evening. It's Monica from Life is Art and Scrap. It's almost Monday. Let's create. I'm just bringing up my video here on the side so I can see what's what. And there we are. If you're joining me live, just say hello or howdy so I know you're here. And if you're watching later on replay, you can say replay. Making sure we're all in the screen. You will notice that we have the camera lifted up big and high so that we can get everything in and do some creating this evening. Of course, it's Sunday, so we're scrapbooking. We're going to be looking at the featured collection for the month of October, which is this beautiful Home for Christmas collection. And it has all the lovely traditional Christmas colors with a bit of a modern twist, having the black and white happening in there. And so we're going to be using some pattern paper, some stickers, some of the die cuts, coordinating cardstock, and yes, we're going to be creating. All right, so let's get started. We're making a double page layout this evening. Good evening, Joanne. How are you? We are going to be starting with a white daisy base. And let me just grab that. So we're going to need 2 sheets of white daisy cardstock. There we go. And I'm going to apply a little bit of adhesive on the back side so we can stick them down to the Versamats and keep them from running away while we decorate. All right, there's number 1, 12 by 12 white daisy, lining it up there, make sure it's stuck down, and then our other one. We don't often do a double page layout, but they're super fun, and if you noticed the title of the video as you clicked in, it's 14 photos on one layout. So we're going to have a lot of photos on here, and as you see them come together, hopefully it will inspire you to get creating a nice big double page layout for those events where you have a lot of photos. Hey Carol, nice to see you're watching. So the first thing I want to start with is a big piece of paper, and this is going to be a mat for some photos. And it's nice when you're using a lot of photos to have a single photo mat. So this is some candy apple cardstock that has been cut to 9 1/4 inches by 12 inches. Gonna apply some adhesive on here and get it stuck down. There we go. We'll put a couple strips all the way along there. And of course, this is one of the coordinating cardstocks for the collection. 1, 2, 3, so 9 1/4 inches by 12 inches. Hey Debbie, nice to see you're watching. You're actually going to see your picture in one of these photos. Hey, look at that. You cheese, you didn't even know. So we're going to put that red candy apple matting bumped right to the center crease in between the 2 layouts. And then we want to add a little bit of pizzing. And so I've got a little 1/4 inch strip of silver glitter paper because Christmassy stuff always looks fun with a little bit of sparkle and glitter. And as I always say, the easiest way to attach something like this that's a nice thin strip of something is either put your strip of adhesive runner down the base page or a little bead of liquid glue. And just do that, and then we can butt this right up against that piece of candy apple cardstock. There we go. Just like that. Already looks nice and festive. We got some silver, we've got some red. Let's bring in a zip strip. So this is a beautiful black and white check from the Home for Christmas collection. The zip strips come off the ends of the pattern paper. And on the back side, you have all the information about it. You've got what kind of paper pack it was. This is actually from the bulk paper pack, but this is one of the zip strips from the regular paper pack as well. And it has all the coordinating colors for the collection and all that kind of information on the back. So they're helpful and pretty. Gotta love things that are useful and pretty. Hey Deborah, nice to see you're watching. So we've already created a nice little bit of decoration over on this side. Let's jump to the left side. And let me just see if I can move that out of the way. On the left side, we're going to bring in some pattern paper. And we're going to be using this beautiful poinsettia. Isn't it just gorgeous? The back side is also lovely with all the wonderful Christmas icons on there. But we're going to go with the poinsettia for today. And it is sort of a mid to large size pattern. And although it has a lot of pattern happening on it, it's a consistent pattern. It's all poinsettias. And so the back side of it is a lovely pattern and would have worked well with the particular layout that I'm doing. But because we have so many photos going on this page, all those individual icons that are all different from each other would be too overwhelming, whereas this just reads as a floral poinsettia piece, and it kind of reads all as one piece, even though there's individual flowers. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. It makes sense in my brain. Now, even though we have red cardstock over here, and we have poinsettia over here, we're going to repeat the same little extra detail on there with the silver glitter paper. So we're going to glue that down here. So this poinsettia paper was 5.5 inches. Of course, 12 inches the one way, so 12 by 5.5. And we're going to come in with another, if I can get the glue to run down, another 1/4 inch strip of the silver glitter paper. And you know, when I look at some of the specialty papers in the catalog, things like glitter paper and whatnot, and there's only 3 sheets, I think, oh my gosh, that's not going to go far. But you know what? When you're using it as accents like this, you know, 1/4 inch strips, you get oodles of them out of one piece of glitter paper. So, you know, it kind of stretches, right? It's not like you're necessarily going to do a whole base page in glitter paper. Bringing in that same black check zip strip. And I like the black check for this because I think it gives it a little bit of casual feel. It's classy and then it's black and white, but it's also a little bit casual because it's a check. And it will work with the photos that you're going to see in a few minutes. In fact, you're going to see them right now. So on this side of the page, we are going to be bringing in a whole bunch of photos from the Beaverton Christmas Parade. And this was from 2009, I believe. And so there, you know, you can't have a small town Christmas parade without some tractors pulling some floats. And this was the tractor that was actually pulling Santa's float. So he's got some cute little things stuck to the front, and you can just kind of see the reindeer coming in behind there. These photos are all the 3x3, or just a touch, like a 1/16 of an inch less than 3x3. So we're going to have just a tiny little bit of that red cardstock showing in between all of the photos. And that's why I said we were going to use one mat for all the photos on this page. Now, of course, we have the big man himself. My kids were very impressed this particular year because Santa knew Papa's name. It's amazing how that happens. Santa knew Papa's name and called out to him from the float. And, you know, when your Papa's in with the big man, you know, things are looking up, right? So then we've got another one here. There's Santa and a few of the reindeer. So we've kind of got the little progression happening here. So I've done the 2 outside photos first so that I can center this one like so. And then we know how much space we have in the middle. Then I'm going to jump to the top, and I'm going to grab this. This was, I think, one of the school's floats that year. Beautiful little candles and a Christmas tree on there. And we're going to stick this down up here at the top, trying to leave the same kind of spacing like that. And then I'm just going to kind of set these out here because I need to get them in the right order. There we go. Okay, so now we have these two photos that are going to get spaced out in between. So I like to do the outside photos first, and that way I know how much room to have in the middle. Now this photo is actually from our church. So our church was putting a float in the parade. It was actually our minivan, and this is my friend driving, and we were collecting donations to the Brock Food Bank. So we ballooned up the car, and we had people walking, and we had a few shopping carts, because one of the people from our church had a grocery store in town, and we were collecting food. And then, of course, you can't have a Christmas parade without a marching band. So we've got the marching band. And this is one of those events where you're going to end up with a lot of photos. So it's nice to have an idea of a layout to use up all of those photos. So here we have some llamas. There's a llama, or alpacas, sorry. Alpacas? Yes, I think they're alpacas. And they were riding on one of the floats. So that's going to go here. And then we have another band with some bagpipes, a pipe and drum band. And so that's going to go on too. So again, just like I did on the bottom, I'm going to put my outside photo first with my spacing how I want it. And then this photo is going to get centered in between. Now I'm trying to look at it from way down here and make sure I can kind of line it up. There we go. Awesome. Okay. And now here's a picture of me walking along the parade route. We had these signs that I had made up. It says, "One way to stop hunger is to share." And so we were all wearing those pinned to our coats as we were collecting food for the food bank along the parade route. And so let's go ahead and stick this down like that. And then it's Beaverton, and there's always lots of beavers in the parade. So here's a guy coming along wearing the nice beaver costume. always got to have that in the parade. And there we go. And then here's my friend. Hey, Debbie, look, it's you and your hubby going along helping collect for the food bank. And so let's go ahead and stick this in. Hey, Heather, nice to see you're watching. I'm not sure if I said hello already. So we're going to stick that in. Lining it up, hopefully. I might got a little bit far down, but we shall see. And then our last photo here is elves riding horses. You know, there wouldn't be a parade without elves riding on horses. All the things that you see in a parade. It's not a parade till there are elves riding on horses. And we'll stick this down if I can get it sort of lined up. There we go. Awesome. So this is, like I said, this is one of those times when you're just going to have a lot of photos. And instead of making 5 layouts for one event, something like this, unless there's people that you know and you want to highlight, little photos are just fine. It kind of gives you the feel of that parade walking past. It's like a parade, a gallery of photos. Now over here on this side, I have a couple other photos. I have this one here, which is my husband's grandpa with our 2 boys, obviously when they were much younger. Justin and Joshua. Joshua was holding his finger to his nose and looking cross-eyed because why not, right? They were waiting for the parade to start. We're going to mount that on some candy apple. And this is a a 3x4 photo approximately. And so I'm going to mat this on the candy apple, and it's just a smidgen larger than the photo, like that. Let me see. It is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8, so just a smidgen larger. And then we're going to double mat this, and we're going to mat it on some black cardstock that has been cut to 3 1/2 by 4 1/2. So we're going to go ahead and stick that down. Now this is moving along quickly because, as usual, I have done everything ahead of time. I did all the cutting. I did all the, choosing what to do, and I even stuck adhesive on there. And that's not always the case, right? When you're preparing for a layout, you don't necessarily know exactly what you're going to do. So I always kind of remind myself that watching somebody do it in a video is not real time. It's always, you got to take into account that there was time taken beforehand to get it prepared. Okay, so here we have a picture of Justin, and one of the people along the parade route was handing out these Santa Claus, please stop here on Christmas Eve signs. So we took a picture of Justin with his. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to double mat it. And I thought these photos had to be a little bit more special because these are actually, the kids watching the parade. So they get a little extra. They get the red matting, same as this side, but they also get the black to kind of give them a little bit more presence on the page. There we go. And then I also need a spot to do some journaling. So I decided to treat it just like I would a photo. And because we've got a lot of concrete happening in the photos, I chose this mink, I believe, cardstock that kind of blends in. And then I can add my journaling on there. Haven't done it yet, of course, but I will. And we're just going to go ahead, mat it in the red, and then in the black, just like the photos. So it's nice to keep things consistent when you have so many things happening on a page. We have 14, we have 12 photos over here, 2 photos over here. And so it's nice to carry some of those pieces from one side to the other. And I'm just going to kind of get in my mind where I want to place these. I think right about there. That looks good. Okay, so now we can go ahead and stick them down. Like so. See if we can't put them on straight-ish. It's always a straight-ish. There we go. And that. And these two I'm lining up at the top so that they're equal distance from each other. And the same height, even though they're different, a different shape. Not really a different shape, they're just turned. But they're different dimensions. And so trying to, again, keep a consistent thing happening. And then we will leave the same amount of spacing and add our journaling spot down right there. Then let's bring in some of the die cuts from this collection. And one of the ones that I want to use are these beautiful poinsettias. So I'll put them down up here. So we've got red and black, and the red ones have more detail in them. And we've got a couple different sizes. In fact, I think altogether there are 3 sizes of poinsettias. And what I want to do with these is I'm going to line them up so that they match, because these are actually the same shape. So I'm just going to go ahead and line them up so the shapes are one on top of the other. Almost there. I need to go this way. There we go. I was actually just a little bit left of it. Okay, so they've lined up, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to twist a little bit so that they offset each other. Okay, so see that there? We lined them up, and then we just gave them a little turn, and then each of the petals kind of goes in between. And then all I need to do is add a little dab of liquid glue to the back one. If it will come out, my glue is getting low. I've been saying that for a few weeks now. I need to get some new glue. Okay, we're giving up on that one. We're going to open this one. Let's see. Oh, there it comes. All right. Dab of glue. Dropped our poinsettia. So let me see these two. There we go. Offset them and stick it in the glue. And then what I want to do with this is I'm actually going to add some glue on the back of here. And because the black cardstock is solid, I can add glue on all of those petals. And then I'm going to just add it right here in the corner. Kind of look like Santa's lifting up his hand, pointing at the poinsettia there when he's waving to the crowd. I'm going to park that one there. And this one, we're going to stick together in a second, but I'm just going to set it there for now. I want to bring in a title from the die cuts. And on the black paperboard part of the die cuts, there's black, there's red, and there's green. The black one, which is the largest piece, has this word Christmas all across it. So we're just going to line it up here. And what I want to do is I want to kind of focus it so that it's above the photos. We're going to leave ourselves a little bit of space over here for some decorating. But I also want to bring in one of the stickers from the sticker sheet. And it's this one right down here, Merry and Bright. And I'm going to grab that as well as, let's see if I can stick that there, another one of the die cuts, which is this black paperboard. And what I want to do is kind of create a little bit of a drop shadow on this sticker. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick that right onto the die cut so that it creates a little bit of a shadow. And then we can go ahead and stick it down to the page. And if I'm worried about the little bit of sticker that's showing there, then I can grab my anti-static pouch and I can just dab a little bit of the powder onto the back side of that sticker, just like we do when we're making a sticker into a die cut. All right. And I'm going to, just deciding how I'm going to do this. Do I want it there? I think I want it in the center. So we're going to center it above the photos, like that. And then we can add our letters. Now for this, I'm going to do my tapping technique. I'm going to add some glue to my hand, like that. Grab my tweezers. And let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The S and the T are kind of in the center. Just give a little taps of glue. And bada bing, bada boom. We're going to start gluing down our letters. So just tap it in the glue. And you can even tap off just so that there's just enough for the letters. And line them up across, tap, tap, tap. I find that this is the best way to get glue onto weird shaped things. Seems to be the quickest too. Tap, tap, tap. And then when you run out of glue, you just add a little more glue to your hand. And then when you're all done, you just rub it off. If you don't like putting glue on your hand, because some people have issues with textures and things, then you can stick it on a piece of acetate or on an acrylic block or on your all-purpose mat, messy mat. There we go. Yeah, for a lot of photos, Carol, it works really well. Even for, you know, the Christmas morning photos, when you just have lots of photos of people kind of doing the same thing, you know. It's nice to be able to have them all together, but you don't necessarily need 5 pages. So it's nice to have patterns for layouts that give you the ability to include a lot of photos. And by keeping them all the same size like this, I just find that makes everything look cohesive and consistent. So there we go. Christmas, merry and bright. Oh no, I won't put the lid on yet because I'm going to glue down my poinsettia. So here we've got our other poinsettia, a little bit smaller. We're going to put a little dab of glue in the center and stick our red on top. And then we will add some glue onto the back side. I could pop this up with foam tape, but I don't really want to because the foam tape might show through in weird places. And then we're just going to put that right on top like that to add a little bit of decor. And then over here, I've got these lovely ornaments. So you get the backing in the red, and then you get the black with all the beautiful detail. Let me just lift that up so you can see the fun detail on that. So we're going to stick these ornaments together too. And because they're such intricate little designs, we're going to do our same gluing. Grab the tweezers, and I'm going to hold this in my hand. Tap, 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 get some glue on there. Tap off if there's too much. And then with my fingers around the outside of the cardstock, those 2 layers just go together so nicely. So there you go. That's what it looks like when it's all stuck together. The beautiful red popping through the design. And then we also have a couple in the green. So again, I'm going to hold it in my hand. I'm going to tap, tap, tap in the glue like that. Use my fingers to line everything up. And stick it down. And then one more. There we go. Tap, tap, tap. My hand is feeling very tacky. I'm running out of glue, but that's okay because that was our last one. And stick that on there like that. And then I'm going to just wipe my hand off. Get rid of the excess glue. Always reminds me of back in the day, you know, when the kids just put the glue on their hand and then peel it off, pretend it was skin, all that lovely, lovely things that children do. Okay, let's add some adhesive on the back of these and decide where they're going to go. I like the how intricate these die cuts are. They have such lovely detail. Let me just stick the lid on this other bottle of glue. There we go. Okay, so for this one, I want to, let me see, I want to stick one there, and maybe one there. Maybe we want to switch those like that. But what I want to do to make them look like they are supposed to be there is we're going to give them a little bit of string. So I'm going to take my pencil, just move them down a little bit and make a little dot with my pencil. So I'm going to move it down a little bit, make a dot, move it down, make a dot. And then I'm going to bring in my gel pen. I don't have my journaling pen. My daughter borrowed it. I'm going to scooch these out of the way. And because I have my ruler here, I can make sure that I'm making these lines straight. So you can just line it up on the Versamat top and bottom, like that. Oops, and then twist it. And then just draw a nice line, like so. And then we'll scooch over to the next one. Line up the ruler so that everything is straight-ish. Like that. Oops, my ruler shifted. Gotta love it. There we go. And then the last one. And this kind of gives those ornaments a place, right? If we just had the ornaments sitting there, they would look pretty, but they wouldn't necessarily have a place, a landing spot. So by adding the lines, that gives them a landing spot. Okay, and then we can go ahead and stick those on. I'm going to use my tweezers because then I can see what I'm doing. So there's number 1. And number 2. And then the last one, number 3. Lovely. Christmas, merry and bright. Okay, so now the last thing I want to do, I'm going to add my journaling a little bit later, because I haven't decided exactly what I want to say. I'm going to bring in some bling, 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 because I think in the center of those poinsettias, we need a little bit of something shiny. So I'm going to take the larger ones and put a little bling right in the center of the poinsettias, like that. And these are the clear sparkles, so they look lovely with the silver glitter paper. Hey, Kimberly, nice to see you're watching. And Lynn's here too. Shannon, howdy. And Doreen, hello, hello, good evening. So let's add a few more little sparkly bits. We'll even bring in some of the bitty sparkles. There we go. Some bitty sparkles. And I find that using my piercing tool to lift these is the best way for me to do it, because I'm never going to get those little ones picked up quite right. It's just not going to happen. So using the piercing tool lets me pick them up and make sure that the glue is attached, but it also allows me to position them because I have my hand away from where they are, so I can kind of move it around and see what's happening. So just a little tiny bit of sparkle, and then down here, maybe on my journaling, we'll add a little sparkle down here too. Like that. One more. We like doing 3s. The little visual triangle always looks pretty. And then over here with this poinsettia, let's add another large one. Like that. And a bitty sparkle. Like that. And I think that's all we really need. That's all that I'm going to add on there. So there, we have created our double page layout using the pattern papers, the zip strips, the die cuts, some sticker, and then of course we have all of our photos on a single mat on this side. We carried the red matting over to this side, but amped these up a little bit to give them more presence. Same treatment for the journaling spot. We added in the glitter paper, drew some lines for our ornaments, and then I think I even wanted to add a couple little stickers. And I think I wanted this "'Tis the Season." And I'm going to stick that right on here, kind of overlapping onto the journaling. "'Tis the season." And I think a little bit of this wood grain as a little flag on here, like that. And another one, just kind of overlapping, a little wood grain, a little bit of something something down there. And was there anything else? Nope, I think that's it. Lots of fun. Maybe we'll add this one. We'll add the believe. We'll stick it down here with Santa. Just right there. That's kind of fun. And that's it. There is our completed 2-page layout using the Home for Christmas collection. And to remove that little bit of adhesive on the back of the layout, all I have to do is grab my rub and remove eraser and just rub and remove it. There we go. All gone. And then on the other side, rub and remove. There we go. Easy peasy. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing that layout come together. I hope you feel inspired to do some Christmas scrapbooking and to create some beautiful things with lots of photos. All right, have a wonderful evening and a beautiful week, and we will see you again soon. Toodaloo. Bye.